It was the kind of afternoon the Hollywood Hills are famous for. Golden light slanting through jacaranda trees, hummingbirds flitting across infinity pools, and just enough breeze to send designer hair into slow-motion waves. The driveway was long, sleek, and silent, the kind of driveway that whispered celebrity. A security gate parted like a hush, and there it was. Farrah Brittany's first home. She stood at the top of the stone steps, waiting like a queen debuting her throne. Not in an over-the-top Bravo way. No glitter cannon, no dramatic piano sting. Just Farrah, hair in soft waves, wearing a structured preen blazer, jeans tailored to perfection, and a smile that said, "This is mine." "This isn't a house," she said, as a Bravo camera crew zoomed in on the brushed bronze door handle. "It's my next chapter." Farrah Brittany, Kyle Richards' eldest daughter and breakout luxury agent from buying Beverly Hills, had officially moved into her own home. And not just any home. A mid-century modern masterpiece reimagined with European elegance and California soul. And in a Bravo exclusive, she was ready to show the world. Chapter 2. A legacy of luxury. Born into the blinding opulence of Beverly Hills, Farrah's taste has always walked the line between classic and cool. She grew up in one of the most famous zip codes in the world, where furniture came from Italy, closets had their own square footage, and crystal chandeliers were as common as crown molding. But this time, she wanted something personal. "Growing up in luxury is one thing," she told Bravo's in-house interviewer, sipping oat milk from a hand-thrown ceramic mug. "But creating it for yourself, that's power." She found the house off-market, tucked behind a vine-covered wall on a curving stretch of Hollywood Hills real estate favored by producers, artists, and secretive tech billionaires. At 4,800 square feet, it wasn't massive by LA standards, but every inch was intentional. "It's like if Malibu had a baby with Paris," said her cousin Alexia Humansky during the first tour, giggling through a glass of rosé. "And that baby had a trust fund and impeccable taste." Tier 3. The entryway that broke the internet. When Farrah posted her first teaser photo on Instagram, a shadowy image of an oversized arched oak door and sculptural wall sconce, comments flooded in faster than you could say RHOVH. Celebrities, influencers, and stylists begged for details. The entryway, as it turned out, was only the beginning. Inside, the home opened into a sunken living room with sand-toned plaster walls, a floating hearth, and modular sofas custom-made in Italy. The vibe? Earthy, minimalist, but dripping in quiet money. "This isn't flashy," Farrah explained during the tour. "It's intentional. Every piece has a story." The rug was hand-woven in Morocco. The bookshelves held everything from Eckhart Tolle to first editions of Joan Didion. The air smelled faintly of Palo Santo and Le Labo. Even Dorrit Kemsley, no stranger to maximalism, had to admit it. "It's not just beautiful, darling. It's elevated." Chapter 4. The hearty of the home. The kitchen, predictably, became a fan obsession overnight. Clad in textured oak, matte brass, and book-matched Calacatta Viola marble, it felt more like a boutique hotel in Copenhagen than a Los Angeles bachelor pad. "It was the first thing I designed," Farrah said. "I built the rest of the house around this." There were no upper cabinets, just open shelving and hidden compartments. Appliances were seamlessly integrated, countertops glowed under layered pendant lights, and the island could seat 6 or 8. If you're doing sushi night with the girls, Farrah laughed. But the real showstopper? A sliding wall that opened into a secret wine room, temperature-controlled, backlit, and lined with vintage finds from her family's Napa Vineyard days. "This is where I come to decompress," she said, pouring a glass of red with practiced grace. Or celebrate, or cry, depends on the week. Chapter 5. Kyle's visit. Naturally, Kyle Richards' first visit to the home was captured by Bravo cameras. And yes, there were tears. As Farrah led her mom through the house, explaining the flow, the feng shui, and the intentional solitude, Kyle tried to play it cool. She nodded, she smiled. But when she stepped into the primary bedroom, saw the upholstered headboard, the cloud-like bedding, the balcony overlooking the canyon, she cracked. "You really don't need me anymore," she said softly. Farrah pulled her into a hug. "I'll always need you. But this is about me finally figuring out who I am. Not just your daughter, not just a realtor. Me. HOUSEWHONORMING in Hollywood." The guest list was top tier. The dress code was quiet luxury. and the lighting was warm enough to make everyone look like they had a filter on. Farrah's housewarming party wasn't your average Bravo bash. It was softer, sleeker, and just a touch more mysterious. Instead of neon signs and step and repeats, the entrance was marked by a vintage lamp glowing beside a potted olive tree. Guests were handed chilled champagne coupes instead of flutes, and each room was styled with florals that looked like they had been foraged. They hadn't. They were flown in from Amsterdam. Farrah really said, "This isn't your mother's Real Housewives party," whispered one guest as they posed discreetly beside the oversized travertine fireplace. The guest list included buying Beverly Hills co-stars, real estate royalty, and a few familiar faces from the rhobh orbit. Dorrit Kemsley in head-to-toe the row, sipping cucumber martinis and giving home staging tips no one asked for. Crystal Minkoff, who arrived with a rare vintage channel book as a housewarming gift and quietly stole the show with her understated elegance. Alexia Humansky, Farrah's half-sister, who acted as unofficial hostess, guiding Bravo cameras through the property with her signature charm. And yes, Kyle Richards was there, teary-eyed once again. "She did it," she said to the camera. "She really did it." Chapter 7, the Mystery Geste. As the sun dipped behind the hills, the outdoor string lights blinked on, casting a golden glow over the sleek patio and zero-edge pool. Music pulsed gently, a curated playlist of Fleetwood Mac, Rye, and vintage Mariah. Servers passed bites of truffle sushi and Wagyu sliders on matte black trays. But then came the twist. At exactly 8:15 p.m., a tall, broad-shouldered man in a perfectly cut navy suit stepped through the archway. He wasn't famous, but his aura made people look. He brought no entourage, just a minimalist black gift bag and a subtle grin. "That's him," Alexia whispered to Dorrit. "Him who?" Dorrit asked, already adjusting her neckline. "The mystery guy, the one from the flowers." Dorrit's jaw dropped just slightly. "Oh." His name, it turned out, was Oliver Steen, a 36-year-old architectural lighting designer who had once collaborated on a Ralph Lauren flagship and now specialized in private residences in Malibu in Europe. Farrah's eyes lit up when she saw him. Their hug was casual, intimate, familiar, a few seconds too long for just friends. And just like that, Bravo fans had a new obsession. Chapter 8, Cameras and CONFESSIONELS. Though Farrah had originally insisted the home was a private sanctuary, she couldn't resist allowing one Bravo crew in to film the party. But the footage was stylized, a departure from traditional housewives chaos. Think Vogue home tour meets Bravo confessional. "I wanted to show people something different," she explained in her interview. "That growing up in the spotlight doesn't mean you have to live like a headline." The episode, later teased in a season 3 Buying Beverly Hills promo, captured poignant conversations, gorgeous interiors, and a few juicy mixed-up moments. Dorrit joking that Farrah's home was too zen. "Where do you even argue in here?" Crystal asking Oliver how he and Farrah met. Answer: at an art gallery in Marfa, Texas. Kyle whispering to Alexia, "He's handsome and grounded. I like him." But it was a solo shot of Farrah, barefoot in her garden at the end of the night, holding a glass of wine and gazing at the city lights, that sent the internet into meltdown. "This is where I stopped trying to prove anything," she said. "This is where I just live." Chapter 9, the room that changed everything. The next morning, Farrah gave Bravo producers access to one room they hadn't yet seen, a hidden meditation space tucked between the guest wing and her primary suite. It wasn't large, but it was sacred. "I almost didn't include it," she said softly, "but this room saved me." Covered in warm wood, soft textiles, and floor cushions, it felt more like a Kyoto temple than a Hollywood home. A crystal grid sparkled on the shelf. Incense drifted through the air. The room was silent, except for a single framed quote that hung above the mat. "Build a home inside yourself first." She lit a candle and sat cross-legged. Her voice cracked slightly as she spoke. "There was a time last year where I didn't know what was mine. Not my voice, not my pace, not even my schedule. I was showing $20 million homes and coming back to a rental that didn't feel like mine. I'd go to parties I didn't want to attend. I was smiling, but I was lost." She paused, tears glinting. "This room changed that. And this house, it's my reset button."